We're very pleased to have here to speak with you today and share her thoughts, Marilyn Serna. We've had a lot of contact with Marilyn in the past. She's the organizer. She and her husband organized an organization called the Movimiento Campesino de Cajivillo, a movement of the campesino people in the city of Cajivillo in Cauca in Colombia, which is where she and her husband and family live. That organization has been in existence for a number of years, and for the last 10 years, they've been a sister community related to our sister chapter in the Columbia Support Network in Central New York State, which is Syracuse, Cortland, and Ithaca. We have several members who together form a chapter, and that chapter has gone to Cajivillo and invited Marilyn and her husband to go to visit them in New York State. And that's a part of the interchange that Marilyn has said she thinks is very important. Marilyn is a leader of the peasant movement in Colombia. She's been involved in discussions at the national level with the government of President Santos, including meetings with President Santos and his cabinet ministers, to try to determine as a part of the evolving process, a part of which is the peace process that's taking place, discussions with the FARC guerrillas in Havana, Cuba, between the government and the FARC guerrilla leadership. This is also, however, something that there's a formation throughout the country of different groups, community groups, indigenous, Afro-Colombian, and peasant organization, the campesino organization. And that's where Marilyn has been one of the leaders. So she will talk to you today about her experiences there and what she thinks Colombia needs with respect to the future. So if you welcome Marilyn Serna.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias por la oportunidad, por la asistencia. Un saludo muy especial desde Colombia, desde los movimientos sociales, que con mucha esperanza estamos trabajando ahorita en ese contexto de paz que hay en Colombia.
Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being with us today. I'd like to start by sharing a special greeting from the communities in Colombia that are active in the peace building process right now in Colombia.
Bueno, yo soy de una comunidad campesina, crecí en esa comunidad campesina y desde muy pequeña, allá con mi familia, tuve siempre una pregunta, y era que ¿por qué si trabajábamos tanto, si hacíamos tantos esfuerzos, por qué vivíamos tan empobrecidos?
I was born and raised in a rural community, and from an early age, in terms of my conversations with my family, I always had this burning question, which was, if we work so hard, why do we remain why are we still living in poverty?
Pero no era solamente mi familia, sino que eran muchas familias, y no solamente en mi región, sino en toda Colombia, y empezamos a entender desde hace mucho tiempo que el problema que tiene Colombia es un problema de las políticas de exclusión social y de exclusión económica.
I started to realize that it wasn't just a problem affecting my family, but rather many families throughout the region, throughout Colombia, and that this was a direct product of politics that are based on exclusion and economic exploitation.
Y bueno, fue ahí donde empezamos a pensar entonces que era necesario, por un lado, entender la situación del país, investigar y estudiar las políticas que regían el país.
And that's when we realized that it would be necessary to start studying and investigating these policies and public policy programs that impact the entire country.
Y creamos allá en el año 91, una escuela de líderes donde empezamos a estudiar la política del país.
So in around 1990, 1991, we created a school of community leaders that was focused on studying these policies and politics at the national level.
Y el paso siguiente fue empezar a organizarnos, empezar a conformar grupos, grupos de mujeres, grupos de jóvenes, tiendas comunitarias, grupos por la defensa de la tierra, comités de salud.
So the next step was to start community organizing processes, working towards organizing among women, working towards creating what you referred to as tiendas comunitarias, which would sort of be our equivalent of co-ops, maybe working towards health, community-based health programs.
Y encontramos una gran barrera para que el gobierno nos escuchara, realmente que el gobierno colombiano escuche a las organizaciones, a la población, ha sido muy difícil y exigirlo ha generado una gran victimización y persecución del movimiento social.
They came up against a significant barrier, which was the government's unwillingness to listen, and their continued efforts to make them listen or to work towards that has generated a lot of backlash and persecution and victimization of social movement actors.
Y después empezamos a pensar que no era suficiente estar organizados, que no era suficiente conocer nuestros derechos, sino que además teníamos que tener propuesta. Y empezamos entonces a construir nuestra propuesta que se llama el Plan de Vida Digna.
So we realized that it wasn't enough to just be familiar with our rights as a community, but we realized that it was also necessary to start constructing new political alternatives. And in that case, that was where an alternative development plan was born, which is called the Plan for a Dignified Life for
Sí.
Cajivio, which is the community where she's from.
Bueno, esa ha sido nuestra ruta de trabajo. Con eso, todas nuestras organizaciones, porque justo somos un movimiento, porque a nuestro interior hay varias organizaciones que trabajan por un objetivo común hoy y es permanecer y defender el territorio.
So I refer to this as a movement because within the movement there are many organizations that are working together collectively towards a common goal, which is being able to stay on and have some sort of the right to territory where they're living.
Tomamos esa decisión porque las multinacionales, los actores armados, las políticas de Estado expulsan la gente del territorio y una forma de defender el territorio es tomar la decisión de quedarse en él.
And we came to this decision in large part because multinational corporations and armed groups, which in the case of Colombia they're multiple, have. Perdón, lo último fue que Ana estaba intentando explicar.
Y la decisión es quedarnos.
Have been actively working to expel and to evict and forcibly displace grassroots communities from these territories, and so their politicized decision is that they're going to stay.
Y para quedarnos hemos dicho que tenemos 4 tareas que desarrollar para lograr este objetivo.
So that there are 4 main pieces of business or tasks that need to be accomplished in order to be able to stay.
El primero es fortalecer toda nuestra identidad cultural. Nosotros somos campesinos y campesinas y necesitamos autorreconocernos como personas que vivimos en el campo y vivimos del campo.
So the first task is to strengthen our cultural identity. We're farm workers, rural communities, and it's really important that we recognize ourselves as people who are from this land and who belong.
El segundo planteamiento es nuestra soberanía alimentaria, o sea, tener la producción de alimentos suficientes, propios, alimentos sanos para poder subsistir en ese territorio.
The second task relates to food justice and food sovereignty, meaning that we need to have enough food, and we also need to have food that is healthy and sustainable.
Y el tercer elemento es la autoridad colectiva, o sea, cómo entre todos empezamos a planear el territorio, a saber qué queremos producir, cómo lo queremos producir, con quién nos relacionamos, toda la parte de una decisión colectiva sobre el territorio.
The third element has to do with the collective governance of this land, meaning how do we manage the land amongst ourselves, what are we producing, what are we farming, and who are we establishing political or economic relations with.
Y el cuarto elemento es la economía, cómo nosotros generamos condiciones para vivir mejor, no solamente tener para alimentarse, sino también tener para cubrir otras necesidades. Y ahí es donde empezamos a trabajar la economía campesina, las formas tradicionales de generar recursos económicos para quedarnos.
And then the fourth piece has to do with economic justice. How do we generate conditions that allow us to live better, not just in terms of having enough food to eat, but also in terms of other conditions. And this is where she's referring to a term of an economía campesina, which might be understood as a solidarity economy, an alternative to capitalism that generally allows for a better collective well-being, welfare.
Todo este ejercicio que nosotros hemos hecho tiene que ver con territorio que no es solamente la tierra, sino que tiene que ver con la organización, con la cultura, con la economía, con la alimentación. O sea, ver de forma integral el espacio físico donde vivimos.
So this is an exercise that has to do with having a very holistic approach to understanding the land. So it's not just about the land as, I guess, an object, it's also about the culture. It's about, ¿qué más dice? La cultura.
Cultura, la economía.
It's about the economy.
Los elementos que había.
The previous elements that were just described.
Uh-huh. Bueno, y luego viene otra reflexión. Y la reflexión es que nosotros solos, haciendo todo esto en una localidad, no vamos a hacer un cambio de fondo, que es el cambio de la política que rige Colombia.
On the other hand, the other insight that we've come to is that as a community, doing this process on our own, we aren't going to be able to single-handedly change the national policies and politics that create these conditions.
En primer lugar, porque no solamente nosotros estamos haciendo esto, sino que en muchas regiones de Colombia la gente está haciendo un trabajo similar.
And in the first place, that's because in many parts of Colombia, people are undertaking a similar community process.
En segundo lugar, porque no es suficiente que transformemos las condiciones de una comunidad, se hace necesario transformar las condiciones para en general el pueblo colombiano.
Second, because it's not enough to just transform local conditions or contexts, it's necessary to undergo transformation at the national level in the entire country.
Y en tercer lugar, porque son nuestros derechos los cuales deben ser garantizados por el Estado, ¿cierto? Y si nosotros no exigimos al Estado que garantice nuestros derechos, estamos reemplazando o alivianando la responsabilidad que tiene el Estado.
Third, because the state should be the one who's guaranteeing us these rights. So if we are taking this action, what we end up doing is actually taking up some of the responsibilities and duties that should be of the state itself.
Y así, pues decidimos nosotros articularnos o juntarnos con otros movimientos, tanto a nivel de la región como a nivel del país, para que esas propuestas de la comunidad fueran a construir una propuesta de país.
So that's where we decided to create alliances and build bridges with other movements in the country in order to be able to come up with a collective proposal at the nationwide level.
Nosotros hemos insistido de muchas maneras para que el Estado nos escuche, no ha sido posible, y solamente en el 2013 y en el 2014, mediante el gran paro agrario, el gobierno nos escuchó.
So we've insisted on many occasions that the government, that the state listened to us, and unfortunately that hasn't been the case. And it's only been due to 2 nationwide agrarian or farm workers strikes that's been possible, which were in 2003 and then just this year in 2014.
12
I'm
and
sorry,
13.
2012, 2012? No.
2013 y 2014.
Sorry, 2013 and 2014, last year and this year.
Y bueno, esas grandes movilizaciones, que no sé si ustedes acá alcanzaron a escuchar, esas movilizaciones agrarias, en el 2013 fueron muy grandes, muy importantes, pero muy aisladas unas de otras.
So I don't know if you had a chance to hear anything about these massive movements, but they were very significant, both last year and this year, but in both cases somewhat dispersed.
Fueron muy dispersas, sí. Y, por ejemplo, después del paro agrario del 2013, habían más de 60 mesas de negociación con el gobierno. Reflejaba entonces la división que había en el movimiento agrario, porque cada uno quería tener una mesa de negociación.
So to give one example, after the nationwide strike last year, there were 60 different roundtable discussions held of negotiations with the government, which sort of gives you some sense of the fact that within this broad nationwide movement, every small faction or group wanted to have their own direct negotiation with the government.
Entonces perdimos una oportunidad, perdimos un esfuerzo muy grande de las comunidades y perdimos de realmente confrontar al Estado con fuerza y de forma conjunta.
So we kind of missed out on this tremendous opportunity where so many communities had been mobilizing, and we weren't able to take advantage of this opportunity to confront the state and to dialogue.
Pero a finales del 2013 hicimos una evaluación, evaluamos el ejercicio de la movilización, entendimos la situación, hicimos un acuerdo de empezar a construir un escenario conjunto, un espacio conjunto de todas las organizaciones que nos habíamos movilizado.
So at the end of last year, at the end of 2013, we decided to evaluate this action, and we came to an agreement to create a collective space where we would be working together at the nationwide level.
Y en el mes de diciembre, 500 dirigentes agrarios de todo Colombia nos reunimos para pensar lo que se llamaría en Colombia la cumbre agraria.
So at the end of December, we came together with 500 rural community leaders, farm workers, peasants, to start organizing what is known as the Cumbre Agraria, which is a national farm workers summit.
Y lanzamos entonces la instalación o el lanzamiento